Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well, you amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's Friday. Funky, flipping. Frankly, it's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. We made it. We made it through the week. And today we are doing two videos. And this is video 2 of that 2. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. In the pinned comment down below, you will see a link to a fundraiser for our Help a Family at Summer that we try to do each summer holiday, where we send a less fortunate family away on holiday. Don't have to get involved in it. Do not worry. Do not feel that this is something that you need to do. If you want to do and you can do, then do. If you cannot do and you don't want to do, don't do. You know, it's voluntary. It's Anyway, so we get on to the meat and potatoes, because in this video we're talking about Tony Bruski. Tony Bruski, because some of you guys reached out and you said, have you seen Tony's video? Have you seen it? And I hadn't seen it, because I wasn't intending on watching any more of his videos. But then you intrigued me. You teased me with it. So I went and had a look. And what did I find? Lunacy. Utter lunacy. So what video am I talking about? I'm talking about this one. Some of you you'll know what I'm talking about, because you're probably the people who reached out and said, watch it. Thanks for that. That is 15 minutes and 37 seconds of my life I will not get back. I don't know who thumbed it down. It definitely wasn't me. And it's Idaho Murders, Why Brian Koberg's defense is costing taxpayers hundreds. So straight away, the title meant to rile people up, and they piss people off, because they're going to be thinking, hard-earned tax is going to this guy. And yeah, so that's the video we're talking about. And just to give you a little bit of a feel for it, I saw a comment. Let me see if I can quickly find it. I can't find it. I can't find it. Generally, the comments are quite, like informative and entertaining as usual. And, and it's, I suspect Ann Taylor tried early on to convince BK to take a plea deal. Yeah, definitely. Don't know where the fuck you had that idea. But anyway, so what is this talking about? First of all, it's to tick people off. But the two takeaways that I took from it was this. So first of all, he's kind of saying that, the job of the defence is to prove that he's innocent, which it's not. It's for the prosecution to prove that he's guilty, and the defence to offer rebuttals to evidence given to them. Evidence that still they seem to be trying to gather, as they have to keep putting in requests for discovery when we're literally just weeks away from the trial. And in video 1 earlier on today, we saw that there is yet again another hit piece due to come out just 1 month before the trial, that is going to be interviewing the families of the victims, including Hunter, Ethan's brother, and Madison Mogan's mum. So if you missed that video, that also will be in the link in the pinned comment down below, so go and check that out if you missed it. But no, so he talks about Ann Taylor and the way that she's trying to bring in experts to offer rebuttals against evidence, and these are coming at the cost of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And she turns around, and what I find very funny is he basically says that this is Sol. What she's doing, she's attacking the scientifically proven evidence that basically solved this case. And I think to myself, right, so if this is solved, then if you're saying, and your stance on this is this case was solved utilizing genetic genealogy, investigative genetic genealogy, IgG as it's become affectionately known, then prove it. And that's the point here, isn't it? Because it can't be proven, because there is no evidence to support it. We're being told that that's how they did it, but we've got this kind of convoluted story that's around it, and people can't seem to get their head around it, really, because I don't understand why this came about, because they seemingly knew who Koberger was quite early on. They had his details. They obviously had his details before they went over to his parents' house. They must have done, mustn't they? Because in order to go to someone's parents' house across the other side of the country, you obviously know who that person is. So bearing in mind that you know who somebody is, you consider them dangerous. I don't know what that word was, because considering them dangerous, obviously we know that because we know how they kind of ransacked his parents' house, like a scene from, I don't know, some siege movie where they all break in, in through the doors, the windows, gas canisters, hey, on the floor, like the beginning of a lot of films. But anyway, I digress. I was trying to picture the image, what that would be like. But this is what happened. But you think to yourself, so you got this dangerous killer who's entering into people's houses at night and murdering them. So I wonder whether they were actually surveilling Koberger throughout the night to make sure that he didn't venture out again to murder anybody in the night, because that was obviously his MO, his modus operandi, to enter houses at night. And bearing in mind, we also have other crimes of the same kind of MO around the area as well, that I think even to this day, strangely unsolved. And we've also got a murder of Dana Smithers in Pennsylvania as well, that I think that they were potentially looking into. Why didn't they just get DNA off of his car that was outside his apartment, or off his door handle, just to swab it? Because ultimately they didn't even send the sheath off to the laboratory to be tested. They actually extracted the DNA sample from the sheath, and it was that extracted DNA that got sent, and then it got sent again onwards, and then it got taken by the FBI, and then the FBI comes back with a name, but they don't offer any workings out. And when that is requested, that's also not working out. And then here comes another problem, because Tony Bruski will then go on to criticise the utilisation of Cy Ray. He does kind of say that, Cy Ray is someone who is an ex-police officer with decades of experience. He's normally seen putting people away, and you wouldn't ever see him sticking up for somebody accused of murder, mass murder. But Cy Ray puts his career, his reputation on the line. There's no need for Cy Ray to do this, but he does. He decides to do it, and he's coming forward. And he's basically, the thing here, what I think people are missing is, it's the same issue with the cellular data as we have with the DNA data. There's a pattern emerging that the guilters, like Tony, them words are very, very similar, and sometimes I get them muddled up. So, yeah, you've got a situation where you've got information being given. So you've got DNA data being given, and you've got cellular data being given. Let's not forget that there are people who have been specialists in this field. Bicker Barlow, for instance, comes forward and challenges the DNA. Say there's issues with that. There's issues because you're not showing your workings out. And then you've got the cell phone information that, again, you're showing your result, but you're not showing your workings out. So, again, this pattern is kind of emerging, where they want to give you a result and give you information, but they don't want to show you how they got there. They don't want to come back and say, right, this is the result that we've got, and this is exactly how we got to that result. And that's the bit that I do not understand. Because Shirley, I don't know who Shirley is, but Shirley, if you have got this situation, this IgG, investigative genetic genealogy, and it's a new thing, it's coming forward, you want to prove how fucking fantastic it is, so it goes on to become this, I don't know, this front line in protection, and they can use it, and everybody knows all about it, and it's like a flagship thing. They can almost like build a shrine around IgG, an IgG shrine. And pray to it and everything. You'd think that they would want to literally show all of the workings out and say, this is exactly how this worked. Do they want to do that, though? No, they don't. Because it's all shrouded in mystery. So they want to hide it from people. They want to keep it hidden, out the way, so people don't see it. They still don't understand it. So are they ever going to learn to understand it? Or is it just going to be this spurious thing in the background that sometimes comes out like the boogeyman? And I don't know. I don't get it. But the point being, if you're going to convict somebody of a heinous crime, it appears that the vast majority, I say vast majority, I actually mean all of it, all of your evidence pointing towards the guilt of this individual is circumstantial at best, and on its each individual merit, they're questionable. You have this situation where you've got the chance of showing some solid evidence in the phone data and the DNA, which is the two backbones of what you're suggesting is proof that he did this crime, and you're not willing to show your workings out. We have literally seen them say that they don't exist. The information that you seem to need to say what you're saying doesn't exist, while you're still simultaneously showing evidence of location, for instance, and historical location information, for instance, 20 odd times in the area of 1122 King Road. And the funny thing is, even Tony Bruski falls into that trap, because he'll turn around and say that Brian Koberger was shown to be near the property. Not at the property, near the property. And what does he mean by near? He doesn't mean near at all. He means that he was shown to be connected to a tower that services an area that covers an area that goes to within 100 metres of the house. And he therefore could have been nowhere near the fucking house. So we don't actually have any evidence whatsoever of Brian Koberger being near this house fucking ever. We have the possibility that he may have been, because he was connected to a tower that serves as an area that goes up to within 100 metres of this house. But the phone data that they seem to be able to to offer you information that they could only have if they had the information that they claim they don't have and don't exist. And yet we've proven time and time again that they are lying. And Cyril has said they're lying. Everyone is saying they're lying. I think it was even Garrett who come forward and said that the FBI's case was bollocks. But there you go, Tony Bruski. He's saying that Ann Taylor, she's not coming in like a wrecking ball. Wrecking ball. She's coming in more like a ping pong ball. And I would say that you're underestimating her, mate. You are absolutely underestimating her. And if you think that the IGG, investigative genetic genealogy, has solved this case, then fucking prove it. Because at the moment, you've got nothing. You have got a result, and that result is just a name that was given by the FBI, who are unwilling or unable to show any evidence of the workings out. That's how it looks at the moment. And we have a situation around it that seems to suggest that that entire process is going to be hidden from the jury. Now, Ann Taylor, people have challenged and said, but she seems to have said that she's happy that that's Brian Koberger's DNA. And again, and I will reiterate this point, in that Ann Taylor doesn't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, if her client can be proven to not be at this property, then the question is going to be, how did Brian Koberger's DNA get there? Because if he weren't there, then it was put there. And by put there, it doesn't even mean that it was put physically inside the house. It just means that it was attached to a sheath that was eventually found underneath the comforter, not beside and visible from the door, underneath the comforter, underneath one of the victims. A victim being Madam Mogan, who had DNA under her fingernails. That was ignored, seemingly. Anyway, love you all. I'll catch you all in the next one. Mwah.